Hey, how's it going, Thero? Time to work on these pages. All right, let's switch over to Clip Studio. I'm doing pretty good as well, man. It's been a pretty good day. I finally got to watch. I got to spend some time with the wife and watch this. Was it King Kong versus Godzilla? There was some pretty good shots in that movie. So it's pretty much a good watch. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. Time to start on this page. This page is turning out pretty good. Just kind of doing some quick demonstration the other day about the direction it might go. Yeah, I watched it yesterday. I enjoyed it as well. Yeah, it was pretty enjoyable. I actually can say that I enjoyed the movie, but I also enjoyed what was it King of the Monsters? I think that's what it's called. The movie that is before this movie or that movie. I thought that that was a better film, but that's just because for me, I'm kind of enjoying the Godzilla lore and the fighting, and this movie didn't. It had some lore when it came to like Kong, but not enough of it to like satiate me my hunger for it, I guess. The what's it called? The sci-fi bits were really nice though. The wormhole scene was probably my favorite scene in the movie because of how it was directed. Uh, Better than any like Marvel film attempt at doing something like that as well. So really enjoyed that. Oh, hey, when I do that, I'm gonna scroll in even further or something. Here we go. It's debris. What else we doing here? I heard they wanted to connect it to Pacific Rim. If they did that, wormhole would be a good way to go about it. Hmm, that would be really interesting. But I don't know. After Pacific Rim 2, I was not a fan of Pacific Rim. Pacific Rim 1 was a really good movie, I would say. It was good enough. It was a really good enough movie for what they were doing with it. And I didn't like what they did with the characters in Pacific Rim Part 2. It felt like they were doing some sort of approach where they were just trying to sell, toys. And because of that, I just couldn't get with what they were doing with the characters. So I think I kind of want to beef up some of this line art here, but it's not bad. It's just could be better, I guess. Hmm. Oh, okay. I see what I need to do. Some stuff I missed here and there, so I'm gonna use the pen tool. Still haven't seen the second one, but every time someone brings up the second one, I don't want to see it. I am sorry, I haven't seen the second one either. I kind of just overall heard what happened with some of the characters in part one, and I felt offended. Like as a person who watched the first one and enjoyed the first one, I felt offended with what they did with the characters. I was just like, how could you do that? I think a lot of people don't usually care about the human beings in mech movies or mech media And in this one, it felt decent because there was I would say, a decent cast of characters that had good backstories and attachments to certain other characters, and they just got rid of them. And I was just like, but why? But why? Like, the main character from part one, I believe, isn't it even in the movie? The woman who's at the end of that movie, who like becomes his partner, gets killed off in that movie in like the first 15 minutes of the movie. Like, it's like they don't even get some cool redemption type thing. It's like, yeah, I don't like that at all. It's not really cool. It's not cool to me. Oh, and then all the mechs are changed, and you get all these new mechs, and it's like, oh, we're really just selling toys out here. We got some new designs for the mechs and everything, and that's always cool, but where are the threats coming from, and do I even care? It's a weird thing. I would say, what's that? I would say, in a story where there's mech pilots and mechs, the mech pilots, if they matter, well, they do matter, right? Because there's mech pilots and mechs. So if you're gonna have a story where the mechs can just operate by themselves, all right, cool. Human beings don't matter. Anything can happen to them, and we'll be upset or whatever, but they won't be like a part of the main cast. But if you make a main cast where some of them are piloting these robots, they're kind of attached to those robots to some degree. So to get rid of, I think her name was Mako Mori. It's crazy. I can literally remember that person's name, even though I haven't seen that movie in a long time. They got rid of Mako and the main character, the guy, uh, who was kind of like the main hero of the movie or whatever. Those two together were really interesting because you had a person who could pilot it by themselves, which had, it's only one other person who's ever done it, and that was the black guy. What's his name? Forget his name in the movie, but Idris Elba was the other character who could like pilot a mech by itself. I just like, why get rid of that part of that history of those type of characters? Could have built off of that. It's odd. Kind of wondering what the heck was this? Oh, okay. It's like, why is that line curving there? So I'm thinking I'm gonna have to do some general shapes for the clouds I end up doing for like the next couple of panels, because I definitely struggle with like the previous scene of trying to attempt to get some decent looking clouds there. And even that feels like more like a placeholder, even though it works. So I'll probably leave it alone because it works. It doesn't, again, need to be a painting or something like that. But I have to figure out a simplistic approach to doing it later as well. Actually, just expand the selection of this. That's what I'm probably gonna do. But yeah, how's it going, everybody? Getting a little further with this page here. Shouldn't really take us that much longer to get pretty far. I think we should be able to touch at least the other page today, at the least. So here's the panel. Grab that stuff here. Expand the selection. About 2 pixels. There we go. It's a lot neater. Everything's kind of touched on that I think it should. I guess I should also fill this area here, down here, and then kind of just erase out some parts of it. That way have some sort of general movement going on there as well. So that's what I'll do for that one. Alright, this stuff down here is going to get cut off, except for this part here. And I didn't do this part either. Alright, so this is the character layer. I'm going to go ahead and, wait, I can't select it that way. I'm going to double click here. Guess there's an opening there. There is. Alright. Kind of wanted to increase some of the line weights on some of these forms. Not many of them, but I also feel like most of them work. So I don't have to worry about them too much. Why is my cursor doing that? Is it actually moving on this thing? I'm using, able to be picked up by the mouse. That's pretty cool, actually. Alright, so most of this stuff works already. I do want to put some things here in the background. I'll probably just use grayscale though, because I want your attention to be on what's in front of you here. So I'm going to create a layer, and I'm going to use, oh yeah, let me also change the color of this. Oh, actually, I'll make that purple. Then I'll use green for this. Green is usually the color I use for backgrounds. So I don't have to like name my layers. I can just color code them. So I'm going to use the lighter variation of gray here that I have. I'm going to use a softer brush, like an airbrush. Maybe I'll try this. Feels too soft. Stronger maybe. Okay, that's fine. So I'm just gonna draw like some general shapes right here that are gonna represent like these mountain forms. Actually, I forgot to put it on multiply. All right, that should relatively get that point across. Now I'm going to erase away things we don't need and try to maybe add like a light source. Make sure I didn't get anything past that point. A little bit. Okay. So now we have a decent read, I would say. It's just generally foreground, middle ground, background type thing going on. And we know the sunlight is behind us. So if this has different planes, we can be like, okay, this plane is turned towards that light source. So, and kind of something like that. And do it again over here. Alright. I actually like that last shot. Interesting. My undo isn't working. I mean, maybe it is, but... Wait, because this is... It's fill tool. Okay, it is working. I was like, wait. I haven't changed that in a while. I think because it's too strong. So I guess I should just go with the soft here. Just fine. Alright. So for the next shot, right here, I don't really need to add a background because we're more so focused on the leg or the foot coming forward in space. It's also in motion. So I don't need to add that there. I've added the background so you can kind of get it, you know, what time of day it is. I guess I can add a little bit more, but honestly, I don't need to because the scene should work, hopefully, right? See here, go back to this. I'm gonna put it on, well, that's on soft. I want to put it on stronger. And I guess I could just, see, there'd be no point, right? Let me see here, if I grab soft here. And I could like put a little bit of lighting on the, you know, the area they're standing on. But at the same time, it really already works. There's no point in doing that. It kind of takes your attention off of what I want you to look at. So, nah, we're not going to do that. Let's see what else we could do. If I make that even less distracting like that, it also shows up. I want to make sure it's not distracting, but it also sticks out enough. Right, so all this stuff is where we need it to be. I see little pockets here and there on, what is this, the gray layer? Alright, other than that, I'm good. I can just add some detail on like the smoke or dust rising up here. Go back to the green layer. Actually, I should just create a new layer. put it on multiply. And I'm going to use this lighter gray. And I'm going to use a certain brush. As soon as I figure out where it is. Okay, it's this one. I actually should rename it because I actually cannot read Japanese. One day, maybe. But this is kind of my go-to brush for like certain details. It's a decent brush. At least I think it's this brush. I got a bunch of these really cool brushes that I use. I should probably rename them. I think it's this one, so that's what I'm gonna go with. So I'm gonna basically make it darker at the bottom, just a little bit, and lighter at the top. Hmm. What does this look like again? Can't really see it. That's not what I'm looking for right there. That's okay. Interesting. Okay. Got a little bit of debris there. If we need to see it, just click this. Actually, it doesn't work. Doesn't work that well because the lighter things seem to, you know how soft they are, just fade into the background when it comes to that type of effect anyway. Use the G pen, erase away what's on Samara's tail here, because Samara is closer to us, so the debris wouldn't overlap on her. I actually want to create some sort of effect for herself. Um, Let me see, where it should kind of be a like like that. So we have the ground layer, or the ground here, do something like this. And then I could do something like that. So with this, it almost worked. And turn on the border effect tool, and basically I'll use black. So let me grab black, click there. It doesn't look that good, but it's also not that bad for this other effect. That's pretty cool as well. Alright, experimentation. Cool, so the bottom part of this is going to be cut off when it's printed. So you won't even see like most of the bottom of this line. So that's pretty cool. And it creates like a border between what's happening with her and what's happening with him. That's not a bad effect. Only problem is, actually, what I can do, since she's in front, since she is in front, I can use one sec. I can use values to kind of show that she's in front, so I can kind of like put her a little bit in a grayed out form. But I'll probably end up doing that with like something lighter than even his skin tone, which is usually this. So let's see what we can do. See if I can do it and like the way it looks. Alright, go to another layer, multiply, and I'll use airbrush effect. I don't know if I want to use soft necessarily, but it may help. So that's what that looks like. And I see that I missed something there. I kinda am okay with it. It's very light. It works decently enough. Alright, so we got our two effects in there. This layer here, we're gonna erase out. That works okay. I'll go ahead and save if something mysterious happens. I'm sure you guys know about that. You're working on a picture, and all of a sudden, like, something random happens in your life, and then you're like, oh no, my art. And then all of a sudden, it's just like, yep, your power went out, or whatever, you know. And it's like, dang it, I didn't save. Alright, so one of the last things I wanted to add here is like a sound effect right here in this area, this general area here, which will bring us right over to the next panel. Probably gonna add some more effects here when it comes to like the movement of his leg. But other than the movement of his leg, I'm not probably gonna add anything else to this scene. It doesn't need to be anything else, I would say. Interesting. I could have swore there was something really cool about this pen. I think I must have changed the settings of it. What else do we have? Taper pen. Of course we have. Why do I have two round pins? Oh, it's like big round, small round. That's just fine. I'm okay with this pen here. So how do I rate that? How's it going, Crocodile? How are you doing, man? Tired but prepping myself to stay up. Word. Oh, right, because I made that layer first. It's a weird looking one. Really don't like the way that looks. Probably because it just looks odd. Um, the way it's made that way. But also, I kind of like it at the same time. It's weird. It's not the usual thing that I do. Hmm. Adele, how'd you like looking at the movie again, man? Feels good every time. Yeah, it was pretty good experience. Can't believe we live in a time where but you need more. Wow. I can't believe we live in a time where it's like now we can be at home and watch movies that usually only show up in the movie theaters, at home, in the comfort of our homes, because the world is being threatened by, people meeting up in large groups, in person. Los, why are you like this, bro? You just got here. Why'd you choose violence like this, bro? But yeah, it's way better this way. I'm also really excited to check out that new Mortal Kombat movie. And it's interesting. I saw the cover that they put on HBO Max. And it's definitely a cover that you would assume like okay, like Sub-Zero and Scorpion are the big deal here. Everybody else is cool, but these two guys very important, you know. This might be the way to go. Be able to like lower the opacity a bit. I'm also gonna try and make this as neat as possible so it's very readable. I'm not a professional letterer, but I do think it's important that people can tell what your sound effect is. So I'm gonna try to just make sure it's readable enough. Make sure it's readable from far away. Let's watch that in chat. B. I'm gonna watch that with my wife first, actually, because yeah, you know, me and the wife watch movies together that we're interested in first most of the time. But I'll probably watch that in chat with you guys later as well. Same thing with Kong uh versus the Winter Soldier. It's like, no, why did I say that? I don't know. What else we got here? I should probably put that in white, honestly, but it's fine. It sticks out, so that's good. What else do we have here that needs to be changed? This here. Thinking I'll probably also which one is this? The purple one. Jeez, I've made so many layers. Probably change this a bit. Godzilla theme stuck in my head. Yeah, stuck in my head as well. Did a great job with it though. Really gave me certain thoughts about wait a minute, where's my highlight stuff at? There it is. What am I talking about? Alright, so see if I can make this a bit smaller. It's weird. I feel like I'm looking for a certain specific effect, but I never seem to be able to find it. Alright, and I'll use this here as well. Oh, okay. Wait, why wouldn't I be able to do that again? Oh, it's on add. So if I take it off of add and put it onto like normal. Okay, yep. Maybe not. So about here. I don't like it. I don't like that. Maybe it's because I'm too close. Yeah, Godzilla has a pretty recognizable freaking theme. It's really good. This might be the approach that I might want to take with this. So it's actually a pretty nice brush. It's a highlight brush. Doesn't feel bad. Wonder if I can put some pressure sensitivity on it. But like more for like what do you say? Wait, I can do that. Oh, it already has pen pressure on brush density. Okay, what else can we do then? Oh, okay, that's brush size. This is on pressure sensitivity. Oh, I guess it is. Cool. Should not be on the same layer. Okay, it's not. Alright. Huh. Using the highlight brush is pretty cool. God dang it, Adele. Now you put the dang on theme in my head. Why you like this? Yeah, Dill, if you're here, when's your next stream? Hmm. Some of those leftover mistakes from when I couldn't erase the hair strands I had drawn in. Hmm. Hey, how's it going, Tony? Been a while, man. Hmm. Let's go back to this other layer here. And I have it down to 50. I wonder. Oh, yeah, I'm keeping it up. I'm keeping the opacity up to black. I think it really looks pretty cool from a distance. I would assume if you're following the most prominent elements of each panel, you would, you'd make it to, Halo's leg and see Samara going past, and then you might start from Halo's head, see that the sound effect is, right there, and start to go over that side. You see the butterfly fly over, and you'd finish reading the sound effect or whatever, something like that. You see the leg move, and then you would follow this element here down, and then you would see that Samar had already moved around this direction. So that would be really freaking cool. Yeah, just been working and working. How's the comic going? Uh, the comic's going pretty well, I'd say. Making some good progress. I've been doing this every weekday since I started. Streaming on YouTube Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. is basically the schedule. Sometimes I'll, go live early or whatever and be working on some preliminary stuff. But for the most part, uh, every weekday I've been able to get some more progress done on the comic. So it's pretty cool. This is the second chapter that we've been able to work on, and I've drawn it and I've sketched it out digitally and everything, and been able to work on the traditional stuff. Um, and then now I'm working on the digital aspect of all this. So things have been pretty cool. Let's see. I need to watch how I'm using my layers though. For this page in particular, I did use a bunch of them for. I don't really think I needed to use them as much. as much layers as I did. See here, like this is this. Like what is that? I don't know. What are you? It's nothing there. Delete. We don't need it. This one makes sense. That's also fine. That's fine. This is on a layer by itself. It's a normal layer. And this is on a layer by itself as well. I guess that's fine. It's mainly just effects. And this is the background, right? Yeah. So I can make a folder that just says effects real quick. Which one are you again? That. Alright. But that does change the thing. So actually maybe not. I'll just be careful. I'm out of data, so I'm stuck in buffering. Aw, man. Sorry to hear that, man. Actually thinking of, like I was talking about, beefing up her line weights here. So that's what I'll do before I start on the next page. I don't want her, shouldn't need to compete. She's overlapping everything here. She's in front of the butterfly. The butterfly is in front of Halo's foot. And then you have Halo's foot, in closer than his other foot. So, she shouldn't necessarily have to fight for, what is it called? Attention here. So I'm going to go ahead and give her some line weights here. It's on its own layer. Cool. How you been, Tavon? Other than being in data hell right now. Maybe I should change that in general. Just go across here. All right. So we got something there. What I'm gonna do now is also try and hit some of these. All right, looks pretty cool. I don't usually practice inking digitally, but I practice all the time, and so maybe that helps out. Sure it does. What I want to also do is add some more line weights here and there. That way it doesn't feel as stiff as it looks to me. So what I usually do is go, okay, I need to add line weights to something, but I also want to add lighting to those line weights, or understanding of it. So what I usually do is, the simplest way is to just go, okay, where's the light source? Where are we going to put shadows? Shadows are going to be underneath the form, or because the light source is above, what I do is I beef up the line weights at the bottom of a form. It instantly makes things a little less stiff. Obviously, the closer that object is to the camera, the bigger line weight it's gonna get. Hey, how's it going, Brian? I thought we talked about this last time. Yeah, I saw Invincible. Yeah, it was it was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. Did you like it? I think you said you enjoyed the adaptation. Only I put this on a vector layer, I could have like cheated my way through this, but this is how I do line work anyway, so yeah. Alright, that should kind of work. That looks a little bit less stiff there. Less robotic looking. boom, she instantly jumps to the foreground, right? She kind of sticks out a bit more now. Uh, she looks like she's on that for me. And yeah, I think that's all I'm going to do for that page right there. Now to start on the next page and get something to drink, because that's something I often forget to do. Make sure you guys stay hydrated as well. All right, Brian is saying, okay, I just saw it. We talked about the comic book. Oh, all right, word, word. Because that's why you said, am I caught up on Invincible? I thought you meant, was I caught up on the animated series that had just started running? My bad, my bad. I thought it was good. People who saw it, but not the comic, are going crazy over it. Oh, of course, it's a lot of if you've checked out the comic, you're further ahead, right? The people who read Attack on Titan, have long since been past, when its adaptation began, had long since been past the beginning of that story. So they were losing, everybody watching was, oh my god, this is crazy. And the Attack on Titan fans was like, you don't even know what's happening right now. You even know the depths of how crazy the storyline can get right now. So yeah, of course, of course. I hope people do go out and read the comic though, because the comic book artwork and the storytelling looks to be pretty darn fantastic, and it's I think it's pretty significant for like the fact that it's an indie series and how long running it seems to be. Tony is saying, I mean, they did depict that one scene better than the comic. I wonder which scene you're talking about. No, I mean, they don't even read comics. Oh, yeah. Yep, that's how it works, man. I feel like, again, most people don't know where to start with American comics because of just the conundrum of figuring out, where to start. Even if there is indie, a lot of people just, if they do read comics, are just like, nah, I'll go to like webtoons, or, if my friend is doing a comic, I'll read his or theirs. A lot of people aren't trying to go out of their way to go read anything because if they enjoyed the format that they watched it in, they're just ready for more of that. I did that with several series actually. Like if I usually will check something out based on what I got into it with. So if let's say I was checking out like an anime where it was anime night with the guys, with the friends, and they put on a really good show. All right, cool. I'm gonna stay checking out that show. I'm not gonna go look for the manga or anything like that because, I might not enjoy it in that format, or I could hear or see a subpar adaptation that is done. But for that one, if I feel like, oh, maybe it's done, maybe it could be done better in the manga, I'll go do that. Depends on how much I like the adaptation. Like Berserk 2016, 2017. Man, if that's how you got into Berserk, oof, man. You're like, right? But for me, if I got into it that way, I would have found the manga and been like, wow, how could they do this to this? This looks amazing. This is fantastic storytelling, fantastic artwork, really good, decent writing, great character development. And then I would just try to forget about the anime. That's the way I do it. They doing a live action too. They're doing a live action of Invincible? Los, I haven't even seen the Dragon's Dogma anime, but from what I overheard from you guys, that's that's some sort of evil. I don't know what happened with that. I don't know what happened with that, but that's some sort of evil. So I'm gonna stay over here. I can't vouch for that anime. You guys said that joint was horrible or something. Oh my god, Nick, no. Man. Check out this next page. Brian is saying, story arcs are long and involved, but pay off so many ways they can go in animation, but they can't do everything. Looking forward to it. Yes, they're doing a live action version of Invincible. I I'm interested, but I'm really not that interested. Um, the amount, like the more, I feel like the more realism you go towards, the more like, I guess it depends on like who the director is or something. But it always feels like the higher you go with realism, it feels like you get more limitation, I would say, out of it. Gonna make this red. And we're gonna go ahead and start cleaning up this page. There's not enough Samara on this page, bro. Bro, she's like right here, bro. Like that. She's I had to zoom in so far. She's like right there, bro. You see her, bro? She's like, oh my god. There is enough Samara. All right, it's okay. She's like down there. The butterfly is taking up. He's too powerful. The butterfly is just it's very popular. Right now. So let's go ahead and start this process again. So I'm going to go ahead and go over to edit. I believe it's edit, right? Go ahead and convert brightness to opacity. I'm going to get rid of all the white on the page completely. You can always check by just getting rid of the paper thingy right there. And now that I have that done, I can go ahead and I can activate my border effect. But I have to pick a color first because I would like it to be a certain color. I'm going to pick this light purple. That's not the border effect I was going for. And click this on and go to around like 10. And now we can see them. Where can I read the Divinity? You can read the Divinity on Tapas at the moment. Tapas has all the main pages for Volume 1. This content I'm working on here is mainly from Volume 2 right now. Though I haven't released the volume, but yeah, I will eventually. No problem. Alright, now we're going to use this dustpan, even though it's called Remove Dust. I like to call it Dustpan. And I gotta keep watching my main lines to make sure that I'm not getting rid of anything I really want. Alright, that was good. Yeah, so far I know that this stuff should be really clean, or most of it is pretty clean. So I'm gonna make sure I don't have to worry so much, is what I really mean to say. So as you can see, there's a bunch of stuff that's not getting off the page, and this is basically where the pencil is smudged. But it's pretty easy to clean up as well. Alright, so if I turn off the border effect, we can see, alright, there goes the lines right there. There's a few things I definitely want to clean up. Alright, so now I'm going to go to select color gamut. I'm going to click here. Actually, where's a good place to really click? I'm going to click, let's say, yeah, one of these lighter areas, and click here, right? And I'm going to zoom in. As you can see, this is really close to the line work we want to keep. So what I'm going to do is, what is it called? I'm going to decrease the, I'm going to shrink selection about 2 pixels. Alright, that means everything outside of that I can get rid of. And let's see what this looks like now. If we turn the border effect off. Do we lose anything? Nope, we got all the main lines. All the main lines are there. There's still a few things that I need to erase, but not as much anymore. So that's cool. Go ahead and save that progress. See, we spoiled when we can dismiss comic book generated material from the start. I mean, I don't follow the Arrowverse stuff, but that's their fault. It's not good. The Arrowverse, what's that? I'm unfamiliar with that one. I don't know if I mean, sure we're spoiled, but it's more like that's what our that's what the companies are just pushing to us, and we're consuming it. You know, if I don't know how to even say it, because if companies are promoting that type of material and it's selling and we're buying it, then they don't see a problem with anything because we're buying it. Um, and comic book movies have a wider reach than a book does. It doesn't matter what happens. Uh, that book is not going to have enough reach compared to a movie. You know, a movie is a 2 hour experience that can get you into a character or concept or something like that, and you can watch it with your friends at the same exact time, and it only costs you probably like around 10-15 bucks. You get a complete, beginning, middle, end to that story that you consumed. You don't get you get a beginning, middle, end of a book that you read, but if that's not the end of the story, you have to keep buying it. So technically, books over time, or that story over time in books, probably will cost you way more than that movie experience will. It's just, has a wider net and it's cheaper. Oh, you said okay, the Flash, Supergirl, Green Arrow, Smallville was good though. Oh, you're talking about those? Where I enjoyed Smallville when I was younger. It was cool. I wasn't old enough to make a judgment call on whether or not it was really good or not, though. But I enjoyed it. Kind of cleaning up a few of these lines I don't want to keep on the page. Not actually gonna clean this up perfectly or nothing like that. I feel like some of these lines are perfectly fine to keep. They're not distracting. They don't show up that often, but some of these are a little bit too distracting. So those are the ones I'm gonna get rid of. You see Kong versus Zilla, great visuals. They need to put that on anything coming down the pipe. Award winning even. Looks so good, very unexpected. Um I did see uh Godzilla versus King Kong. It was a very enjoyable movie. There were a lot of good shots in that film. My favorite shot is the transportation wormhole like scene. That to me was the best shot in the movie. Uh, I enjoyed the way it was directed mainly. I know exactly how I would do that shot in a comic book, but no comic book company would like it. I'm not even gonna explain what I would do. Just know it's something a comic book company would not like. Put that team on anything coming down the pipe. I mean, if they still have jobs, right? You know, CGI teams always get a boatload of work and then, you know, lose massive amounts of money because they can't sustain themselves, you know, in movies. So it doesn't even matter if the movie wins an award. I think that's what happened with the people who worked on Life of Pi. You know, while that movie was winning an award, you know, that group was being disbanded and, you know, people were out of jobs and stuff like that. You know, because they're just contract workers. You know, hey, we are making a movie. We need you. We're gonna contract you to work on the visuals for a said film. You know, we need you to do some of this work here and some of the work there. All that neon was Tron like, but okay. All that neon? Interesting. I don't remember. His hand does stick out there, but also kind of like the lines that I kept there, so I'm going to keep it. It kind of reminds me of like Pentaminty. I think that's what the term is called. So I'll keep that there. And I'm gonna erase this little part here. I'm erasing away a little bits and pieces that might become what do they call it? Tangents. So that these things don't stand out too much when you're looking at the comic and trying to read it and get the story and all that good stuff. So yeah. Need to clean up Samara here or her, you know, little icon beacon thing. So I've been taking my time on my Corolla sketch. Uh, this lady from Battle Angel Alita. Um, Great series. You should read it. Um, and she's like my favorite character in that series. And she's also one of my favorite characters in fiction. Uh, yeah, you should check it out. Battle Angel Alita. You know where to find it. In bookstores. You already know. I think I'm gonna leave that alone. This line here needs to be erased a little bit. Alright, that looks fine now. Alright, I like that. I like that. I like that. That's pretty cool. Time to get started. Time to block out some of this stuff. Alright, so next layer. Definitely not going to finish this tonight. Only have around like 20 minutes ish. And then I gotta get something to eat. But yeah. Start blocking out some of these parts. So we got our multiply layer. Grab our two values that we use mainly. It's funny, I'm actually supposed to be using 3, but I have to go back to a previous chapter to figure out exactly what the other one. That's disappointing. I didn't know creative teams disbanded like that. I thought they stayed together like Pixar, but okay. KB Zella had so much neon in Tokyo and Hollow Earth vehicles. Ah, yeah. They did really good with the sci-fi stuff. And yeah, yeah, you don't know it till you know it, man. It's that's why I'm like, I like movies, but like there's just I don't know. I'm just stay over here with comics. I'm really biased towards comics for certain many reasons, you know. Uh I don't know. So much more cost effective. Um there's this thing that people read comics, right? And they read panels very quickly supposedly. Um and then they never come back. They just keep going forward, right? But the thing is, to a person where that story means something to them, the people always come back to those panels. They always end up rereading it, even unintentionally sometimes. With any good story, those things, those moments can be revisited. And just like with people on YouTube who cut up those pieces and uh, and post certain parts of fights or dialogue, like, all that good stuff. You can revisit some of your favorite moments in a comic book, just flipping through and finding it, if you own it or whatever. So I don't know. I just feel like it's still, it's still my favorite storytelling medium. Though I know the most popular storytelling medium right now seems to be movies and I guess live action uh, TV series. And I would say animation is like a close second. Most people just want to see real people do stuff, you know. I don't know what I'm basing that off of, right? That's how it seems to me, right? Not, looking up anything or nothing like that. I'm gonna go ahead and just outline these things with my lasso fill. Hmm, nothing changed there. Alright, something I don't have to worry about then. What's this sound I'm hearing? Weird. Okay. Alright, Brian. Okay. You you be safe. What is this? Oh, I put it on the wrong layer. Okay. I think one day I'm gonna freaking embrace using these shapes to create like light sources and stuff like that. Right now I'm just like, nope, fill that in, fill it in. God dang it, why did I do that? I gotta fill that in. I'm getting some sort of static and I'm looking. It feels like you guys can hear it too. So I'm gonna mute. Alright, let's see. Alright, doesn't look like any more static is happening right now. I don't know what was up with that, but no, we don't want that. Alright. So because Halo is so small in this shot over here in what is this, panel 3, I'm actually not going to put any tone on him because should I? I kind of feel like elements that small just aren't going to read well anyway. So why not just use it as an excuse to be like, okay, this character's kind of like blurred out or out of focus or whatever, because they're further back in space. I don't know. I'll figure something out. So let's get the rest of these elements that use the same value. Alright. I'm going to use the magic wand tool. And it's mainly like this little joint right here that's on the shoe. I'm gonna need to close that. I'm gonna expand it by about 2 pixels. And paste that. Wait, did I paste it? No, I have it on the wrong thing. Alright, cool. Now I can go ahead and use the darker up. See? I knew something was up. Knew I was gonna miss something. But on the same layer, since I'm using values, I can go ahead and put the rest of my Keem's colors here. I'll learn so much just by consistently doing this. I used to use like 6 values on like a character. It was insane. It was so many. I was like, ugh, why am I doing this again? Like, why am I using so many of these? It was just overcompensating for for what I felt was a lack of quality or something. So now I don't have to do that. It's pretty nice. So can we close that in there? Yes. All right. Let's see what this message is. All right, got that in there. I know I'm gonna set up the ground shadow and everything there. I'll probably use the same thing for his hair. So that should work out. See what that looks like. Let me set up a background layer. Oh, and this layer should be, what should you be? I'll make it blue. For the character art. Oh look, we got straggler here. Alright. Background art, green. Interesting. Why does it look like that? I wonder. I'm gonna set it to multiply. I don't really like the way that looks. It's a normal layer. Put that on multiply as well. Okay, that's not bad. Oh, shadow. I guess that's decent. I kind of want something with like blurred edges, like just like that. I guess that'll work. Something like that. Alright, now I can go ahead and turn that layer off, grab this, and just kind of grab a few of these forms. Interesting. Something in the background just fell. Okay. Alright. I am not in a horror film. Everything is fine. Alright, so like I said, I just picked out a few of those forms. I'm gonna get a few more. Alright. Slowly but surely getting this done correctly. It's also a background layer. So what else are we gonna do? Let's go ahead and just oh, wrong thingy. So I'm gonna go with a lighter one here. Actually, I could have just lasso filled everything. So I'm doing the whole like guy closer to camera, but in front of light on. Alright, this is making it too long. The you guys closer to us, you guys seen those older manga art where uh person closer to us um kind of is like in shadow type thing. It does a bunch of different things, right? You can look at it as, oh, this guy is in shadow, so maybe I can look at them as if they're blurred, even though they're closer to us. The author doesn't want us to pay attention to them very much. Or for us to kind of lose clarity from like their facial expression or what exactly they're doing in that point of view. You know. Other thing it does is like it could be actually extreme or well, it could be some certain type of lighting in the area. So for me, this is like mainly that lighting is on the other side of the character, and I'm just kind of like going like, all right, since the lighting is on the other side of the character and he's in front, I can kind of use that to use this to help frame the scene better. That's about it. That's all I'm doing with this effect. All right. Poochie, what? Did you choose violence today? What's happening? What what I do? But yeah, that's gonna be it for today, guys. Gonna get ready to get out of here and get something to eat. Thanks so much for coming by and hanging with me. I do this every Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If I go up early, it's usually because I'm working on figure drawing, fan art, or whatever else. But as soon as 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock hits, I switch over to working on my comic pages and whatnot. Um, I'll be back tomorrow, which is what is it? Friday, right? Back tomorrow, Friday, working on the last stuff for that week or for this week. So we'll probably actually like if we get to the next page, we're gonna get to the other page too, right? Because again, I put a lot into like the first 5 pages, but these last 2 pages of the 5 feel a lot more lax and a little bit more light when it comes to detail needed or anything like that. So yeah, this is gonna be pretty fun tomorrow. But yeah, I hope to see you guys tomorrow. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I do this, like I said, Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you like comics, if you like to talk about art, pop culture, anything like that, I'm always willing to be talking about that type of stuff I like. And if you guys ever need any help with the comics and content that you're working on, need any tips, or just want to hang out and draw, you know, I'm putting out content, every weekday. So I'll be here. So yeah, thank you guys all for coming through. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace, everyone.